friends, welcome to the demo class on pharmacology. My name is Sai Rajesh and I am going to deal with pharmacology subject. Let me congratulate you first. For the past 4 months, we are in a dormancy period. We are in a lull period. No universities, no classes. But still, you are showing interest to learn the subject. A thumbs up to you all students. Coming to the subject. I am going to start pharmacology with physiology. Physiology explains the function of every organ of the human body. How the heart works, how the brain works, how the liver and kidney works. That is what deals with physiology. Once I explain the physiology, I'll get into pathophysiology. Pathos related to disease. When the function goes out of control, it becomes a diseased state. I will explain about pathophysiology. Once you understand physiology and pathophysiology, then we'll go to pharmacology. Pharmacology, pharmacon means drug, logy means study. Pharmacology tells you the study of drugs. When you know physiology and pathophysiology, when you know what is wrong with the system, then you will know how to correct that system. That correction through giving drugs. So that is what is pharmacology is. This kind of approach, a systematic approach by reading physiology and then pathophysiology and then pharmacology is known as holistic approach. When you see your GPAT syllabus, you might have observed you have physiology is there, pathophysiology is there, pharmacology is there. Instead of reading all the three separately, I will interlink each and every topic and then explain it to you. Getting into pharmacology. In pharmacology, we have dynamics and kinetics. Let us understand these words. Dynamic, the word is derived from dynamo. Dynamo means power or energy. What do you mean by that energy? This indicates, the pharmacodynamics indicates a drug receptor interaction and the consequence of that. What happens when a drug interacts with a receptor? That interaction results in energy transfer from the drug to this receptor molecule. Using that energy change, conformational change inside biomolecule occurs. That is what results in a altered biochemical activity. That is what we call it as mechanism of action. Let me repeat this. Dynamics, the word is derived from dynamo, indicates power or energy. What it has to do with our drug receptor interaction? When a drug binds with a receptor, it releases a certain amount of energy. Using that energy, biomolecules conformation will change and that change results in a mechanism of action. The next one, kinetics. Kinetism or kinetic means movement. It explains about how the drug moves in our body compartments. Take for example, let's say you took a tablet. We take the tablet, it gets into our stomach, it undergoes disintegration and dissolution process, and then the active drug releases into the blood circulation. From the blood circulation, it moves to entire body parts. After that, it gets into liver, undergoes metabolism, gets into kidney, goes out of the body. What is happening? The drug is moving all through the body. That movement is known as kinetics. Now, what do we read in both the aspects? In dynamics, we read about mechanism of action of drugs and its adverse effects, related things like therapeutic actions and everything. In kinetics, we are going to read about absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. So briefly, this is how I am going to deal with pharmacology. Coming to the next thing. See, the reason why I enjoy teaching pharmacology is I like reading pharmacology subject. There are multiple reasons for that. Let me explain individually. Our science is so interesting one because you will be reading about our own body, how the heart functions, how the brain functions, what happens when it goes wrong, what kind of medicine you need to take. See, on this earth, there is no individual who is not taking any tablet or medicine. And our science will explain about the tablet and the medicine. That is why it is very interesting. Let me give a practical example with current situation. Look at this one. The most scariest word nowadays is corona. Coronavirus pandemic is playing havoc with the world. The world is grappling with this pandemic. See, the word again corona is nothing but a crown. When you see the coronavirus under electronic microscope, it appears as crown. Hence, it is named as coronavirus. Now, coronavirus or corona pandemic has taught us some lessons. What are they? World has realized importance of health sciences. You know, see what is happening in and around the world. All the institutions, all the universities, all the offices are closed down except health related offices. All the doctors are working, pharmacies are working, pharmacists are working, pharmaceutical companies are working, because we are the front force in battling with this disease. That is the importance of life science. And each and every country in the world started funding more and more on life science research. There is a great opportunity coming in front of us. It is our time to grab the opportunity. Now let us see what kind of role is being played by India. You know this drug? Hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine is supposed to treat corona infection. India is exporting this drug to United States of America and then Mexico, Brazil. See what our pharmaceutical companies are doing. We are exporting these drugs to Western countries. The other one, Serum Institute of India. You know, there are around 164 vaccines under pipeline to treat coronavirus. Every country is trying to get a good vaccine. Among all of the vaccine candidates, Oxford University vaccine is in front run. They are in advanced states of clinical trials. And that Oxford University vaccine is being produced by Serum Institute of India, which is there in Pune. You know, this institute is preparing millions and millions of vaccine. Once Oxford University get approval for that vaccine, our Indian Serum Institute will export drugs to half of the world, export the vaccine to half of the world. We are at the top. You take a drug, you take a vaccine, we are at the top. And this is what is the opportunity provided by Corona to us. Now, what is there with us? See, when you do well in pharmacy, when you do you get a good degree from a very good master's degree from a very good university, you get into the market with good life science knowledge, and you being picked with all the research and everything. The last practical thing, India is spending around 2% of its GDP on health sciences. But recently our Prime Minister announced we will be increasing the 2% to 8% of our GDP for research. That research will be putting into pharmaceutical industry. There is a bright scope and bright future. Let us grab it. Coming back to the one. Now, I learned pharmacology by relating every concept to our practical life. This is the way to learn. To make you understand, I have come up with a couple of examples. Let us see one by one. Let me go back to my B.Pharm days. I was an average student in my B.Pharm days. So whenever there is an examination, I used to prepare a day before. We used to call it as one day batting. In fact, one night batting. Before the exam day, before night, we used to read, mug up all the things. We used to get into the examination hall. When the examiner has given the question paper, we used to go through the paper. Suddenly, we could not remember anything. Everything goes blank. You don't remember anything at all. I think most of you might have faced this situation. What happens? Nobody knows. Slowly, when I started reading pharmacology, I realized what is happening with me or with most of the students who are under stress. Understand this. When you are stressed, body reacts and releases a lot of chemicals. One of the major chemicals is cortisol. The stress causes the release of cortisol hormone, steroidal hormone. Because it is a steroidal one, it can get easily into our brain by crossing blood-brain barrier. Once it gets inside the brain, it inhibits a particular cells called as hippocampal cells. Now, the thing is, hippocampal cells are the storage cells for short-term memory. What all the things you have studied last night are stored in hippocampal cells. When you are stressed, cortisol releases inhibited cells. What happens with your short-term memory? It goes away. I realized stress is the one what is causing me for my blank head during examination. What is the further consequence of that? Now see, this stress not only does this thing. When you are stressed, when you have anxiety, heart rate increases. What happens with heart rate when heart rate is increased? See, normally imagine my hand as a ventricle. Contracts, relaxes. Contraction is known as systole, relaxation is known as diastole. Normal and an average healthy individual heart rate is 70 beats per minute. When you have anxiety and stress, what happens? The 70 converts to 100, 200. Look what is happening with your heart. You are increasing the strain workload on the heart, which will reduces the functioning of the heart. This is what does stress to our body. You lose your brain memory cells, you lose your heart functioning, which is very dangerous. How do you counter this? You know, psychotherapists, so many people says that take deep breath and the deep breathing will control all these things. Is it true? Let me explain. What happens when you take deep breathing? When you take deep breathing, you take a lot of amount of oxygen into your body. When you take a lot of amount of oxygen, it gives a lot of ATP. Same time, you will exhale a lot of carbon dioxide. You inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide. When excess carbon dioxide is there, what happens is you exhale a lot of carbon dioxide. Remaining carbon dioxide will get dissolved in your blood plasma. Now carbon dioxide combines with water and gives carbonic acid. CO2 combines with H2O and gives carbonic acid. What is the pH of blood? It is 7.2. Now, what kind of chemical you are increasing? An acidic chemical, that is carbonic acid. When this acidic chemical is increasing in your blood plasma, blood pH goes down. Instead of 7.2, it comes down. There is a change in pH. This is recognized by a special receptors called as chemoreceptors. Chemo means chemical. Receptors. The job of these receptors is to detect any change in chemical environment. The moment pH is falling down, it sends a signal to heart to reduce heart rate. Instead of doing this, it gets regularized. See, this is the effect of taking deep breathing. So breathing is a good kind of exercise which will reduce stress. How and why? This is what is the explanation. All these things comes under physiology. When you understand that, you will understand all these things. Remember this thing, my friends. Pharmacology is not to get you marks or not to get you admission somewhere. It is to lead our life happily. The happy life depends upon how do you understand your body, and that is what we read in this science. Clear? This is the effect of stress. Moving further, I have taken one more example how to deal with pharmacology. Look at this one, depression. Another major disease which is affecting especially the youngsters. Depression is a very common thing. People get depressed when they fail in examination. Even if they pass, if they don't get 80%, they will get depression. Even if they get 80%, if their friends are getting 90%, they will get depression. It is a relative word. But let us understand what happens in depression. Now, in our brain there are certain chemicals. And certain chemicals will make us happy, hence they are known as happy hormones. The prominent one is serotonin. Now, when you see the physiology, pathophysiology of depression, in depression, serotonin levels are falling down. In depression, serotonin levels are reducing. The reduced levels of serotonin is what causing depression. You know physiology, you know pathophysiology. Physiology is serotonin is required. Pathophysiology, serotonin is reducing. How do you treat it? By increasing the levels of serotonin. How do you increase? Either by reducing metabolism or by inhibiting reuptake. Your job is to increase the levels of serotonin. See how everything is related. You know physiology, you know pathophysiology, pharmacology comes as such. That is the use of reading holistic study. Further, increase in serotonin. Now, think about this. Let's say this is serotonin level. The normal levels are this. During depression, the levels fall down. When you take medication, they will come up. Will they exactly come here? No. Sometimes they will go further. Reduced levels of serotonin causes depression. If the levels are increased, what happens? Continuous excitement. You know, drugs used to treat depression are known as antidepressants. Their job is to increase serotonin levels. But the adverse effect is excitement and insomnia. They could not sleep properly because always the brain is with excited chemicals. This is what is adverse effect is. Understand what is happening? The drug job is to correct the problem, but they will not do exactly that. The action will not bring them back to the normal level. They will do a little bit further. So instead of doing this action, they do a little bit of overaction. That is what results in adverse effect. It is true with every case except chemotherapy. I will explain when you come into class, but understand this one. I will take one more example. Think about hypertension. What happens in hypertension is blood pressure is increased, right? So drugs used to treat hypertension are known as antihypertensives, which are reducing blood pressure. What is normal pressure? It is 120 by 80. When people take antihypertensive agents, let's say someone has got 200 by 150 BP. So hypertension is there. When they take 120 by 80, it will not exactly come and stop here, it goes down. When it is going down, what happens with that? It turns out to reduce blood pressure, and that is what results in hypotension. See, again, this adverse effect is also related to mechanism of action. Now, to understand pharmacology, you need to master physiology, pathophysiology. In pharmacology, if you want to know about adverse effects, understand the mechanism of action. Half of the adverse effects are because of their mechanism of action. The rest are not related to mechanism of action. Like some of the other adverse effects are not related to mechanism of action. But half of them you will know it when you know mechanism of action. See how easy pharmacology will become when you understand everything. Last but not the least, I have written some of the terms name origins. See, our science is based on words. If you understand that particular term, how did it get there? Half the job is done. For example, morphine. You know about morphine. Morphine, the word is derived from Greek god Morpheus. From Morpheus, they derived a word called morphine. Morpheus is Greek god of dreams. Now, why do you have this chemical this name? Because when people take morphine, they live in dreamland, hallucinations. So because of that property, it has got its name. Interesting, right? Next, you know angiotensin. Angio indicates blood vessel. Angiogenesis means forming new blood vessels. Angio means blood vessel. Tensin means increasing tension. What happens when blood vessel tension is increased? It causes contraction, vasocontraction. So angiotensin, the job is to cause vasocontraction, as it is known as angiotensin. In fact, on a molar basis, it is 40 times more potent than noradrenaline. Noradrenaline also causes vasocontraction, but this one is very potent. Hence, it is named as angiotensin. This one is even more interesting. Diabetes mellitus. You know this word dia. Dia means passing through. You know, for a circle, you have a diameter is there. Diameter is any line which is passing through the circle. So dia means passing through. So here diabetes means passing through. What is passing through? Passing through the body. What is the passing through? Mellitus. Mellitus means sweet or sugary solution. Diabetes mellitus is nothing but sugar disease or normal diabetes, in which subjects will have sugar urine passage. Sweet urine will be passing out their body. To tell that, it has got its name, diabetes mellitus. Diabetes means passing through the body. Mellitus means sweet. It is nothing but passing sweet urine. This is how I teach. Now, what I did is I have explained how I am going to teach. And I have explained what are the opportunities coming in future. This is very important. At present, this is very prominent one. Now, after that, I have explained how it can be related to human life and how I am going to teach all these subjects. Again, I congratulate all of you for listening to this demo and participating in this demo session. Thank you all. I am sure we are going to meet again in the class with all the explanations. Thank you all.